Hey there, welcome to the Christian Media Marketing Show. My name's John. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you're listening to the podcast and I'm in your ears, thanks. Thanks for letting me speak a little bit into your life. I hope it's a blessing. And if you're watching the YouTube show, well, I'm sorry for what you're seeing. Sorry for the old mug here, but hey, you're going to like the rest of what you get to see and be a part of today. At Kavanah Media, we exist to do two things, and we don't want to duplicate. We're not trying to oversell what it is that we do. We're not trying to do those kind of things at all. We just want to build strategic partnerships, and we want to solve the complex challenges of digital engagement to help teams do what they went to the field to do. So whether that's a church or a mission team or whatever that looks like, we're of the opinion that you were called by God to do something. And it wasn't probably to learn about a pixel or to a changes in the algorithm on a Google ad and opportunities that are popping up there. But you do need to know about these things. Like it's good to have people that are working with you. That's what we get to do with a lot of teams in a lot of locations. But even if we don't get the opportunity to serve you, our hope is that through this podcast and video show that you're going to hear things that can help you. We want you to feel like we're on your side. We're on your team. Well, the Lord has been adding and helping us grow. And my desire is not to be a step ahead nor a step behind. I don't want to go left or right. I just want to be in step with the Lord. I want us to be good stewards of what we do, and I want us to push forward. We are a business's mission, not because we want to try to get rich. We've set up things to make sure that that doesn't happen. But we think that those who are directly benefiting from us are the ones that we want to serve, and we want to be able to do that by using these business kind of tools. There's a security reason to it. Ultimately, there was just the fastest way for me to get back into the work when I got my cancer diagnosis 7 years ago. And so we desire to serve every mission team, every mission org out there. There are things that we won't do. There are things we can't do for possibly you or for other teams. But we're very, very grateful for the parts that we do get to do. And the Lord continues to add to our number. And He's adding teams that we get to serve. They're not our teams. We're not their bosses. We just come alongside them and we stay with them and we lean into this digital thing. We're constantly working as a team to get better at it and to learn from it and then try to give that away to as many people as we can. So the Lord, wow, in the last couple of years, we're doubling in size every year. He just has continued to add that opportunity, which has meant that we need to add more staff. So there's 11 full-time people now with Kavanah Media, and I'm doing, just a few weeks here of introducing some of these new people because you need to know them, and because I think they will add value to what you're doing. If you're at a conference and you get to meet them, then I want you to be able to say, "Oh, I've seen this person." Or if you're working with them, if they're serving you, I want you to hear a little bit about their backstory. And so we had Yadi last week. Today we're going to have Rachel. We have Cody who's coming on. We have Stuart who joined us just a while ago, who's overseeing the Discover Jesus initiative work. He's going to be doing a workshop at the EMDC conference. There's been some really exciting things, and there's others that are out there that we would love to add to the team. We just have to go slow and make sure we have the finances to be able to do that. So as the Lord allows, we're going to continue with his blessing, hopefully, to be able to grow and to serve. And when we have finished our run of what we need to do, then I hope that we can just step back from that as well. But then the time right now, we continue to push forward. And one of the people doing that is one of our newest members to the Kavanah Media team. Her name's Rachel. And Rachel has a background in marketing. She did it working in the business side for a while. Her husband is a part of a mission org. Like there's a lot going on here. She is extremely intelligent, smart in this area, and an unbelievable benefit to our Kavanah Media team. So I'm really excited to introduce her and just have a conversation with her, let you listen in for just a little bit. So, without any more delays, here's Rachel and mine's conversation. All right. I am excited to have a conversation and invite any of you listening or watching into this conversation as I'm excited to introduce to you all Rachel. And Rachel Martin is one of our newer hires here at Kavanah Media. Rachel, thanks for spending some time with me today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And you are you've been doing a lot, and I have a lot to unpack here with you, but maybe let's just start with the basics, okay? There's things that I know, but I'm just going to ask you so you can share a little bit with other people. Who are you? Where are you from? You are not alone. You're part of a team there, all right? So maybe just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So my name's Rachel. I'm originally from Beaumont, Texas. I went to school in Mississippi at Mississippi College. I studied communications, specifically interpersonal communications and graphic design. And then immediately after graduating, I moved to Oxford, Mississippi, where I was working full time in ministry. Um, and just so happened to meet my husband there. And after we met, we moved to Alabama, um, where I was working in full time marketing for a local clothing store to the area. And my husband was working in campus ministry at the University of Alabama. And then the Lord recently just brought us back to Texas, and now we are in Dallas. And my husband is, yeah, part of East West. And so he will be doing some work among unreached people groups. And yeah, we have, um, yeah, just working here, doing that. And so now just recently started this position, which I'm super excited about. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Super. And what's your role going to be at Kavanaugh? What's your title? What are you going to get to do?
Yes, my title is strategic marketing specialist. And so, what that'll look like is meeting with teams and helping them um, with digital strategy and running Facebook advertisements to reach people in the areas. So,
Okay, super.
yeah.
And you're in the midst of the onboarding process right now. We have it set for 2 months. I think sometimes people either are one on two sides. They're either like, let's just go, like I'm ready, or let's ex do a little bit more onboarding.
Mhm.
Are you either one of those, or are you just cool, 2 months good, and you're with?
I feel like I'm like right in the middle.
Okay,
Like, there's like certain times throughout the day where I'm like, yeah, like let's go. Like I can do it right now. And then there's other times where I'm like, this is great, like this is a good process. And so I would say I'm 50-50. I'm excited and ready, but know that there's more just to
yeah.
get more comfortable with everything. So
Sure. Yep.
yeah.
Well, and one of the things that we've really tried to do is standardize so much stuff. But, so there's a ton of SOPs and standard operating procedures, and there's verbiage, but it's the DNA, the ethos, it's the certain things that make us who we are as a business's mission endeavor and stuff. And so it's part of that is just hearing it. Part of it's we really want to make sure that you're ready, not the skill set, just like the very specific things that we get to do that everybody's touched those things multiple times or whatever. I will tell you, it's coming.
Mhm.
2 months seems like a long time, but I just finished a call this morning that had 40 people on it, and these are all brand new people doing digital engagement. In fact, there are probably a lot of teams that you'll be getting the opportunity to serve. So, it's coming for sure. Uh, what
Yeah.
what made you apply, or what excites you about Kavanaugh? It could be maybe two questions there, but just tell me a little bit about how in the world did we end up getting lucky to have you be a part of our team here?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So whenever my husband and I moved to Dallas in December, and some of our friends here were involved in the same church as Amanda. And Amanda had posted, I guess, the job opening. And one of my friends who's on staff at the church, she sent it to me and was like, I think this might be something you'd be interested in. Just wanted to send it along. And after reading it and applying, it was just everything I had been praying for since moving here. Um, just the opportunity for a remote position, just with my husband's travel, what that could look like. And so that was like a huge draw. And then just like the skill set with like marketing and like I love like that whole world. And so something that I was passionate about. And then also to like to serve the body of Christ. And then even better like missions, which like is what like our family is like so involved in now. And so it was kind of just like everything all wrapped in one. And so it was just I was just praying when we moved here. We met this couple who had lived overseas for like 20 years. And whenever they moved back, the wife said that she was like, I just started praying for the Lord to kind of drop a job into my lap because I was out of the workforce for 20 years. And so I didn't know what that would look like. And she said, and he did. And so I started praying the same thing. And so it just kind of felt like that, just like supernatural. And just like the Lord was like, here you go. And
Yeah.
so just super passionate about that. And just like now getting to like shadow different meetings and meeting with the team. Just a really awesome work culture and a work environment. And like you've said multiple times, just like the passion and like the work is because of the ministry and the chance to serve the body of Christ and reach people. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we're a business, but our bottom line isn't the bottom line
yeah,
on things. I mean, we have to have funds to be able to keep going. One of the sayings is when you don't have any margin, you have no mission.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're trying to grow on a lag, except for I think we're going to need more here soon if we can afford and figure it out how to
Mm-hmm.
do it. And so, you guys are the new ones, but you won't probably be the last ones, Lord willing, to
Yeah.
be able to do that. I think we're also really, yeah, trying to embrace that we are completely remote. I mean, there's been people on our team who spent like a month working in a country, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they were fine. And so that's one of those things. I think we're really trying to embrace that,
Mm-hmm.
because 100 and some locations around the world, somebody's awake at some point, sometime. So it doesn't hurt that we have people
Right.
all over doing it too. So, but Dallas is good. So it's a good
Yeah.
home base
Yeah.
working out of there. What kind of things do you think, because you've done marketing, and one of the things I really like, all right, so there are people that have no background in marketing that kind of get into it and then they learn things, um, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's really good. Sometimes things change and then they're going to struggle because they don't have that background or whatever, or they don't have the what I call OCD, so obsessive curiosity disorder. Like they're not constantly just going, hey, I wonder what if happens here, or if I unplug this, what happens, or whatever. Because you have that background in marketing and some of these things, yeah, there's things that are going to be new that we're doing that are different than what you've done, and we're trying to baptize those things and make sure they're in alignment, with the spirit and what God wants us to do, and the organizations and teams need. But what kind of skills and knowledge do you think you're going to be able to just bring to teams right away, that you're like, hey, in my background, even though it was doing this, I see how this is going to help mission teams or whatever else. Are there things that pop in mind for you?
Yeah, I would say I like what you said about the obsessive curiosity disorder. Because I think like I am just like naturally curious and like want to like find different ways or like why a trend is a trend. And so I would say that is like probably an asset that would be, but then also there's like the cultural differences. So like that's something like once like I think I was just assigned teams yesterday. And so now it's like I can go and like be familiar with what is trending in the certain countries and certain areas. And so doing that research so then I can be prepared and better like be an asset to the team and serve
Yeah,
them well. And so that's what I'm excited about. Is just learn about the different cultures and because something trending here in America might not be trending around the world, in
right.
different parts. And so
Very true.
so that's what I'm yeah, excited for. And I think that would be just to serve the teams well. So it it's a better use of their time.
Right. Yep.
So
How many teams did you get assigned to? I haven't heard yet, so
I don't
you know.
I didn't look at the exact number. I was just looking at each one of them through Monday. I kept getting like the notifications from Casey. And so
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure it's a bunch because we're
Mhm,
handing over a lot there. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a podcast sometime where we just show and tell our Monday system
mhm.
and how that works and the ways we have things set up to be able to handle this and the multilingual things and whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love it. The idea of being able to do your research to really go in there.
Mhm.
There are commonalities, and then they're always changing. But then there's some really specific things that, yeah, if we can bring ideas, obviously every team we serve, ultimately it's their work, and so we're there to serve them and help them. Sometimes that means uh, giving them advice that maybe they don't even want to hear, like, yeah, I don't know about that or whatever. But ultimately, it's their call, to be able to do that. But that's where
Right.
that research and experience and all those things are going to come into that. So I think also just your eye from graphic design is going to be
Mm,
a good thing too there. Like you're going to see stuff, and so much of social media is visual. People,
yeah.
that's what stops people when they're scrolling. At first is the image or it's the
Mhm.
graphic or whatever else there. So I think that's going to be just having that eye and then working maybe with Joel or others on the team to
Yeah,
help.
Joel and I talked last week, and he was sharing with me like some of his projects and just like the different colors that draw people in the different like countries, and like how
Hmm,
this part of the world is more drawn towards like a light blue, and then this. And so
interesting.
I learned part of that like in undergrad, but it's been a minute since I've like had to like put that into practice. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely passionate about that.
yeah. No, Joel's a good asset there, and
Hmm.
some of these secret gems that we have of people helping out
Hmm.
the video stuff that he does. I'm just always amazed at his talents there. So it is great.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel, it is just awesome to have you on the team. You are just a tremendous boost to what we have and how we can serve, and hopefully to serve so many teams. I know the teams are going to love working with you, and we're just excited to have you on our Kavanah Media team. And so we're going to have you back on here. We're going to have you back on here, probably sharing things that you're learning and sharing. I mean, that's one of those fun things. Just before I close, like when we get to nerd out on marketing and we're all just talking those kind of things, I love that. And so I'm already seeing just the value of so many different people and views and ideas and things coming into it. And wow, I just hope it's a benefit. I hope ultimately for the kingdom, for our king, and for the teams that we serve. So thanks for being a part of this journey with us, and thanks for using your gifts for the king.
Yes, thanks for having me on the podcast and adding me to the team. Glad to be here.
Bet. Thanks. All right, there you go. So that's Rachel Martin. Rachel is one of our newest Kavanah Media team members, employees, servants, hopefully being able to serve you and your team and in your location. And so really just thankful. I hope that you're enjoying this little bit of a break where we're just getting to kind of introduce some of the people on our Kavanaugh Media, the new ones, to you. And there's a lot to share. There's more people coming. There's also some other podcasts. I already have some. I'm going to have one here in the next few weeks. Just there's a stewardship one that's coming up that's going to be coming out where I'm going to make some arguments of things like I'm having to rethink through conferences and travel and different things. Like COVID made us look at some of this stuff. And then when the pandemic ended, are we going back to something that maybe we don't always have to go back to? And so some of the things that I have to work through to decide whether or not I'm going to attend a certain conference or travel to a certain place or do something else, that's just one part of a stewardship part that I'm going to be talking about here in a few weeks as well. We also have some other technology things that are coming up, and there's some new things. And the most recent things that we can ever share, those are there on our weekly marketing roundup. It's just a quick newsletter. It's going to have 3, 4, 5 things that are happening through the week. We've already went through everything, and we think this is interesting. This is something you might want to know about. So you can sign up for that. by going to our KavanahMedia.com website. You can also see past podcast episodes there. You can also click there and see our ad resource page. We have 31 campaigns, depending upon where you're hearing and when you're watching or hearing this show. I think we have 4 or 5 new ones that are coming out just this week on there. Multilingual. You can filter them by ad objective, by language, so much. And many of these campaigns have multiple ads inside of them that you can use. There's easily a year and a half, if not more, maybe 2 or more years worth of content available for free for you. That's our heart. We want to help you. We want to serve you as you serve the King. So no matter what you're doing, keep pressing forward. Know that you are not alone. The Lord loves you. His Spirit is inside of you. So let's keep pressing forward to make his Son, our Savior, Jesus, famous. Until next time, take care and God bless.